Hello FIGGIE fiends and collectors, this is me, Daniel East1000, back again with another Star Wars Black Series figure review. And well, today we're going to be taking a look at a character from the Skeleton Crew, and just touching base on that piece of media. What was really nice was the fact that around about that time of Skeleton Crew being released, we actually got figures to accompany it. Something I wish we'd see a little bit more within the Black Series line, and indeed vintage collection as well, to be perfectly honest. So it's a little bit strange that we got this one later, but I'm glad that Hasbro afforded themselves some time to really work on this one, get the R&D down, and pack in pretty much all the features that you see in the show with this particular character. So today we're going to be taking a look at SM-33. But before we take a look at the figure itself, we will take a quick look at the packaging, of which, as you can see here, is slightly bigger than your Star Wars The Black Series figure box. This is a deluxe release, so you're going to pay a little bit more for it, just because it is quite a chunky figure. As you can see, you've got the Star Wars Black Series logo at the top there. Lovely window packaging. You've also got a nice backdrop to offset that figure, faded into that colour palette of the banding, really offsets the figure so it stands out in the box. You've got the name of the character there, number of the character, that colour banding with the name of the media, bit of legal garb at the bottom. On the side, not much going on, but you've got Star Wars The Black Series, that colour banding running around. And on the other side, lovely image or artist interpretation of the character, and the colour banding fading in to that as well, with the name of the character just there. On the back, lovely image of the character, Star Wars The Black Series, name of the character as well. Bit of a bio, which I will include in the description down below. Number of the character, colour banding, and the name of the media. A ton of legal garb, which we've come to know and love with the Black Series, and at the bottom there as well. So that is essentially the packaging out the way and done with. Now let's take a look at the figure itself.
I killed your captain.
Most unlikely. You seem ill-favored for combat.
But it's true. I stabbed him right in the guts and threw him into space. Which makes me your new captain. Right?
What am I to do with these stowaways? Captain.
So here we have SM-33 in hand, and I have to say this guy is a chunky figure. It has so many amazing features. Again, I'm really pleased that Hasbro held off from making this guy, and indeed making it the best possible version of him. So let's just take a look at some of the details. The thing that I really do like about SM-33 is, first and foremost, played by Nick Frost.
Alright, gay.
Really brought the vocal stream presence to this guy.
Can't say I remember no At Attin.
Additionally as well, the name SM-33 is a reference to the Peter Pan character, if I'm not mistaken, of First Mate Smee. SM-33 Smee. Always like little references like that, so that's fun. But in terms of this figure, what an imposing one it is. Even in this state, he looks absolutely awesome. I love the very High Republic feel that this character has, because he is a droid. He does have kind of like a cobbled together vibe in terms of his armor plating being a little bit mismatched, and of course he looks very rusty as well, because he has just been abandoned on the Onyx Cinder for quite a few years. So I really love the dings and chipping that Hasbro have put onto this particular droid's armor plating, and also the kind of rust paint application, or is it dirt? Jury's out on that. He just looks very cool. Just looking at the head, I love the details they've put into that. The sculpting is absolutely incredible. There is actually a feature with the head, of which I will run through in the accessories department, so certainly stay tuned for that. Got the wires that run from the back of the head to the back of the body. And then just looking at the front, you've got that quite interesting chest plate going on. The arms with the nice armor plating, and again that's got a feature that I will show off in the accessories department. One thing I will mention is there's no paint application detailing for the wires on the back. They have included it on the front, which you can just subtly see there, but they haven't missed it on the back. And I don't mind that too much, because, you know, save a bit of money on paint and the cost towards it. You're really going to have the figure facing the front of the display, so no complaints on that front for me, but it just would have been nice if they had just touched up the back there as well. In terms of the hand hands, just to mention them as well, you've got this half clenched hand if you did want him to be posed with a blaster or holding something. Likewise this hand here, which can be doubled up as a blaster holding hand or just a little sort of gesture or pointing hand. Even the legs, the arms, everything about this figure, there's a feature to it, which is just amazing. And again, you know what, how about we get into that now? Because first and foremost, because this is quite a chunky top heavy figure, and also the fact that he has a peg leg, of which can make posing and stability a little bit difficult, although to be perfectly honest I've not had too much trouble standing this guy, Hasbro have deemed it worthy of coming with a little display stand, which is the first time I've really seen them do it in the Black series, at least like this, which is very, very cool. You've got a little peg there and it's a transparent display stand, just slots in very nicely to the little foot hole just there, and that's going to keep him relatively secure on display. I really appreciate that. It's a nice little touch that they added. Now if we just look at the top of the head, the dome is removable. Not going to lose that because it's attached to these cables, which is actually glued onto the figure itself, so it's just going to sit kind of loosely when you've removed it. But you do get a look into the inner workings of the head, and not only that, he comes with possibly one of the smallest accessories to come with a Black Series figure, and it is packaged loose. It's not within the head of the figure as well, so just be careful when you are unboxing it. I dare not take it out and show it you on camera because my stumpy fingers aren't going to be able to show it, so I will put pictures. But he does come with the little rat alien thing that sits in the dome of his head.
Not without me, cat.
And of course, if you really want, you can push him out to look through the eye, which I will just do for you now. I don't know if you can see that too well. There is a specific way round for the rat, quite impressively. There's some sculpted eyes on there, which very hard to see because they haven't actually been able to paint it, although if you are feeling brave enough, certainly by all means have a go at painting it yourself. It's just really impressive that Hasbro's included that in itself, and again, you can just slot the helmet back on. I think most people will have this displayed with that in there so they don't lose it. It sits very snugly, but again, there's the very high potential that you will lose that if you're not careful. So a little buyer beware on that front, but incredibly cool Hasbro included it in this figure anyway. Also additionally, he has these panels of which I've sort of mentioned, and you can remove them. They do have these little L-type slots. This one actually sits quite nicely on my copy of the figure, but the other one isn't really fitted well, and that's because they've sculpted the peg or slot on that incorrectly. It's not the right way to fit into that, which is a little bit annoying, but there is a fix to that. I just thought I'd show it on camera. What I'll probably do is just shave that excess bit of plastic on the L there, just so it'll fit in a little bit better. Kind of annoying that we have to do that, but it's a little mistake that Hasbro made. These things can happen. These things can sometimes be a cost-cutting exercise because they might have just duplicated this one. I don't know, just a thing that I've noticed. But what you can do is you can remove these panels nonetheless, and you get the shields that he does use in the show, and these just plug in similarly to how those armor platings plug in. But very nice shields. You've got some carbon scoring painted onto those. Again, another little nice addition to this figure. And well, that's it in terms of accessories, but that's not it in terms of this figure's features, because it has a couple more. And that swings me quite nicely into articulation. So first and foremost, you have a ball joint in the head. You've got a ball joint in the neck, although it is kind of set in a way that he is hunched forward like so. Butterfly joints in the shoulders, ball joints in the shoulders as well. You also have extending arms, hinges in the elbows. You've got extending, although it is quite tight, arms here, hinges in the wrists. There's also, because the extensions, you've got the swivel there as well. And if I do the same on the other side, so we have a bit of symmetry going on as it does the same, you then also have an extending torso. There isn't really a ball joint in there, but there is a swivel, which is fair enough because it does have that extending feature. Can't really fault them for not having a ball joint in there as well. You've got ball joints in the hips. You've got extending thigh to the leg just there. We'll do the same on the other side as well. Hinges in the knees. There's also a swivel there as well from where the extension sits. You've got extensions in the ankle area, and indeed in terms of the peg leg, you've got hinges in the ankle, and then there's also tight rocker joint just there as well. I'd be very careful with that. You might want to try the hot water technique. That's all the articulation that it comes with, but as you can see here, you now have some extended height to this figure because SM-33, under his defensive protocol, does extend into a more attack form.
Pull them apart!
A more intimidating, taller form. And this is just absolutely amazing that Hasbro have managed to do that with a figure like this. Similar to the Droideka in terms of extenuated R&D, I love how Hasbro are really pushing the envelope with Black Series and what you can do. And this makes me very excited for the future as to what we might see and what other features they could put in to an action figure. So a massive, massive kudos to Hasbro on this one. Honestly, I can't recommend this one enough, and I keep saying that. Hasbro are on an absolute roll this year. SM-33 is an incredible, incredible figure and a real cherry on the cake to what is probably the last of the Skeleton Crew figures we will see, unless we do get another season and indeed characters to go with it. While I would love to see more pirates, if this is truly the last one we get, what a send-off. Sculpting, detailing, and just the overall design aesthetic and innovation Hasbro's put into this just should be absolutely commended. This is worthy of being a deluxe figure. That's why I've really not complained about price point on this particular one, because you can really see how much effort Hasbro have put into it. If you enjoyed Skeleton Crew, or if you just love droids in general, this is one that you need. I can't big it up any more than that. So let me know what you guys think. Have you picked this one up? Are you holding off? Sound off in the comments down below. And well, just while I've got you, if you get a chance to check out some of these other videos down there, please do so. Also, if you could drop us a subscribe, I'd be very much appreciative of it. Thank you very much for watching, and well, this is me, Daniel East 1000, signing out.